know the most underrated women in wrestling in WWE?
Body, fire. Her personality, fire.
The hate I saw, the comments, it is insane.
Out of anyone who can say she was the most passionate about wrestling. Get ready to light it up.
Light it up.
Could you stop it?
Welcome if you're in Ring the Belle. This is DS and we have our favorite special guest of all time, Ariane Andrew is here.
What's up, boo? I'm so excited to see you.
Thank you so much for joining in, looking so fabulous.
You know, I had to show up. I mean, I feel like out of all the interviews I do, I'm like, I have to come correct. Let me put the gear on for the, our diva stands.
So today we're gonna pick 6 most underrated people, the updated version. I can't believe this is already 5 years ago, but we did this underrated women list, and we wanted to do an updated one because there's so many wrestlers that are like so underrated, and I thought there would be nobody better than you to talk about it, because you have some opinions. We all know that.
Yeah, definitely have some opinions. So, I mean, am I gonna get started or are you gonna get started?
Let's go with your first pick. Who's your first pick?
I feel like you're already gonna know who my first pick is.
Is it?
It's Naomi. That is my sister from another mister. Just thinking about, I've always just felt that she has had that athleticism before we have gotten to where we are now, where you see a lot of athletic women now. I mean, it's insane. Things that I'm like, okay, women are on the same caliber of doing what men are doing. But before that was even a thing, when the diva era, the whole 9, her moment, like her spotlight, everything should have just been more grandeur. I mean, I'm super excited though that she did take a moment to go to TNA and then become a champion and really capitalize on what I feel like she could bring to the table.
One of the first matches on screen, that match with AJ Lee was so good. Even the pros on the show, like Kelly being shook. Like, Michael Cole, shook. Everyone was so shook about that match. That was like our first memory with Naomi being like so impressive.
The hair, too. I mean, she was, if you think about it, it's almost like a revived version of what she's doing now, because she was doing like the colored hair and the whole, so even back then, she'd be like, girl, I just did my hair myself. And I'm like, how? That was back before, I guess, you can order anything like off of Amazon or anything like that. Like she was like laying that hair herself with all the different colors and the whole 9. So yeah, she's always been like super talented, making her gear, the whole 9. So
I gotta ask you how you feel about this, because I think she's been a victim of that era, because there were 2 very long Divas championship reign by AJ and Nikki.
It's very hard to talk about because I feel every time something in life happens, it's based on timing. And I think timing plays such a big part of anything. It's not even in wrestling, just in life. Timing is everything, and I just think at that time, you think about, what AJ was doing. She had this character who I think so many people could relate to. She's like this little petite girl, into comics, into like, I feel like the everyday person if someone could relate to, being like, I was a fan growing up. You see the moment with her and Lita, like these moments, and being like, wow, I can be just like her. And her having that moment. Then you have someone like Nikki, who is a little bit more of like the diva era. We have total divas. So yeah, it is like kind of being stuck in a catch-22.
So it's really funny because Naomi was a big name that everyone was talking about 5 years ago when we made this video.
I really hope we could actually look back into this video maybe 2-3 years down the line and be like, remember when Naomi was underrated? Because I really hope that in the near future she's used better, she's used more, and is able to really show everybody what she can do.
We talked about like, I really wish if we make another video down the line, she's not in this list. Well, here we go. She's again in the list. I'm actually glad though. She's been like consistently booked since coming back. I mean, when she first came back, the crowd was so into her. Like everyone loved Naomi. Every fans plus all the wrestlers I talked to, like they just love Naomi. So I think that's one thing. Next time, better not be on this list. My first pick. It has to be Candice LeRae. I literally think Candice LeRae is one of the most underrated women right now in the main roster. It's like insane. She's one of the best wrestler there is in WWE right now. I mean, still to this day, her versus Io Sky, the NXT TakeOver match, like it blows my freaking mind. It's one of my favorite matches in WWE ever. It's a tall order because there have been amazing matches.
The girl is giving, but I love the wings.
Yeah?
Let's fly away.
She also had really good character because she had the amazing stable going with the way. You know, she was like the wicked stepmom almost. I loved her little chemistry with, of course, her husband, Johnny Gargano. I loved her little like moment with Indy and Himbo Austin Theory. I actually just love that stable, to be honest. Like 50% yes, thanks to Himbo Austin Theory, yes. But I love that moment. And she also, as a babyface, she was such a great underdog. So on main roster, I don't think we got to see any of that. We really didn't get to see her wrestle like that much. It's all been like squash matches after squash matches. I have a lot to say, as you can tell.
Yeah.
So she recently had this little moment with Maxine Dupree. It was pretty bad. Like, I mean, it was good, but it was bad. As in, like, even your dead brother will be, like, embarrassed of it. It was pretty rough. That was a shocking heel turn. Everyone was like, oh my god, where is this gonna go? But it didn't go anywhere. There's so much potential that she can go so far with all this character, all this heel turn, but like it just didn't happen in main roster. That's why I'm putting her the most underrated person on main roster right now.
I mean, and that's fair.
Let me go to my second pick. Come on, you guys. It's Natalya.
Yeah. I agree.
Natalya has been a champion, yes. She had Divas Championship, she had SmackDown Championship, yes. But I feel like she should be discussed in a GOAT level, but I feel like she's just not discussed in that level. She's been with WWE since 2008. Even before that, she's been wrestling in the dojo. She's been wrestling in Japan. She is like the legend.
So I definitely feel like there's respect. I mean, I've never heard someone pretty much say anything bad about Natalya. Almost like the same with like Naomi. There's never been anything bad. I definitely feel like she is underrated and should have had way more, especially knowing like how Natty is and how technical like she is. When it comes to like in-ring work on the mat, that girl is technical as hell and so good and just so giving and so gracious and so humble. We know no matter what, Natty's gonna be a part of wrestling to the day she dies. And maybe I think that's probably why sometimes she doesn't get her. I mean, again, I don't know the formula. I don't know why, but I think it's just because she comes from a family of legends. You know what I mean? So she's gonna always have some type of like connection to WWE and to doing like her own thing. I feel like the legacy that Natty's gonna continue to have and like continue to train people and give back, there you can't take that away.
The way she was booked in main roster for a long time, I mean, the fact that they gave Natty a freaking farting gimmick. Like, what in the hell was that?
But I guess that just goes to show how much of a team player she is. No matter what, I feel like Natty is like the queen of making chicken noodle soup. Okay, I got this. Great. I'm about to make this legendary.
I mean, the thing is, like, the way she's booked in NXT, that really shows how great Natty is. The way she came down to NXT and had that one of the first matches with Charlotte, that was the start of her legendary, like, career. The way she came down recently to have that match with Lola Vice and Cora Jade, like, she is a bona fide star maker, and you see her and you know that she loves and she breathes wrestling. The other thing I was thinking was, I loved her on Total Divas. Honestly, I think she's like one of the funniest part of Total Divas. But the fact that like she's such surprisingly like diva and she loves the fashion, she loves the Louboutin, like maybe for like wrestling fans there was kind of like disconnect viewing her as a wrestling legend, knowing that side from Total Divas.
You know, because Total Divas is something so new and because WWE had never allowed something like that, nothing to come behind the scenes, see what really goes down, that was a first. There's been rumors, there's been people who, you know, are diehard wrestling fans, they're like, I wouldn't be a part of that. That's not what, I didn't come here to be a part of a reality show. Because if you think even about like the OG cast, out of everybody who was part of the cast, Natty was that girl who lived, breathed, like wrestling is her life. That is where she comes from. That is her passion. Like out of anyone, we can say she was the most passionate about wrestling. You know what I mean? So I think there could be maybe like that disconnect. Looking at myself, what I was saying, like, oh, this is my favorite match. It's like, oh, how dare you? You're not a avid wrestling fan. But so to know someone like Natty that's been her whole life, she's so receptive, so open, and like wanting to be like, let me bring you in. And I admire her for that. I have given her props so many times. I've texted her being like, I'm so proud of you. You're so inspirational to see like what you're doing, you know, even opening up her own like facility and, you know, like she wants to give back. And there could be a big part of her being like, I should have had all of this in the world because I am great. But even though she knows where she stands, and I think that that's like the confidence in Natty. Like, she knows what she brings to the table, but she's also like, you know what? If you're going to be a part of this world, which I love and respect, I want to show you how it's done. I want to give you that fundamental, that like 101, that 411, so you can be good and so you can be respected in this business. And I think that's admirable because not most people are like that.
Yeah, I also love that you brought up that she started her own dojo. She's inviting anyone, not just WWE, she's inviting everyone for Stardom, AEW, TNA, and she's just like there to share love for wrestling with anyone that loves wrestling. So I love that. She's really giving back to the community. So she is underrated as hell. Who's your second pick?
Definitely, I would say Zelina. She was slightly around the time when I was there. Slightly, because I remember her doing like a tryout, coming from like the indies. And on top of it, she's tiny. Her body, fire. Her personality, fire. And I love she's done something so different than what you have seen anyone else doing. Like, I love how she's so into like the anime and like the cosplay. Because that's a whole nother world that I feel back a few years ago, if you would have said that you like that, it's kind of like, that's not, that's not really the vibe. So seeing her like embrace that, take that in, and I think she's just, even her most recent promos, I'm like, girl can cut promo. Like, yeah. I feel like she is a full package and a star, and I'm waiting for her to get that moment. And she has had like these Joe moments, like being in Puerto Rico, like that nostalgia moment, and her crying and being like, oh my God, like I'm here and mama, I made it. But I cannot wait to see and hopefully see more of being like she gets everything that she's been pushing for.
I love that we're talking about it like just now because she had this like very emotional tweet recently. This is what she said: all my life I've heard that my height holds me back. Today is no different, but there's just so much you can prove here and there. I've gotten to touch the ball but never actually hold it. So she was kind of talking about how like she never get to like roll with the ball.
She's so like in person, very sweet, very humble, just like a very chill. Sometimes like the most smallest or like tiniest people are like mighty. It's like, oh, I run this shit, I think especially being in wrestling, like as a woman, you don't necessarily have to be crazy tall to be great. It's just like, can you hold your own?
Zelina's an interesting case because she's such a good talker that she excels as manager, and everyone like just loves her so much as a valet that almost like when she steps out of that role, everyone's like, wait, but she's a manager, she's a valet. No, but she can actually go. The fact that she talks so well is like working against her, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like not only can she cut a promo, her style is so unique and so different than the standard gear. Not saying that there is anything wrong with that, but showing the assets, her bot, like her abs. I'm like, girl, what is your ab routine? Because I need that in my life. What are you doing? Because I think because she has decided to do something so different, which could have been like absolutely not, it still has given her some moments. I feel like she's had some cute moments, just not where I feel like she can go, but I feel like because she was not afraid to be like, you know what, I'm doing this and I'm embracing it. I feel like now people are kind of being like, oh, okay, Zelina, we see you, girl. Like, even look at her social media. It's just so everything's like so put together.
Give her the ball so she can run with it. I love it. So my third pick, this might be a little controversial pick, so let me know how you feel about it. I'll say the third pick has to be Nikki Bella. I know some of you be like, what do you mean Nikki Bella's underrated? Yes, she's a Hall of Famer. She's the longest ever reigning Divas champion. Yes, I know that. I recently did an interview with Nikki Bella, and I've done a couple like episodes about Nikki here and there. And the hate I saw, the comments, it is insane. Like, there are some fandoms I feel like sometimes I wonder like, how do you survive being their fans? Bella Twins fandom gets so much hate from the wrestling community that is crazy. She did get her champion belt. She did get her recognition from the company, but I think from the fans, they just get dust. I think that's why I wanted to mention Nikki Bella here as the most underrated wrestler, because I feel like just the fans don't give the respect that she deserves. Like, she had a cyst in her freaking spine because of this industry.
I have to say I agree, because, and I know it's difficult because I do feel like even in the pinnacle of the time that I was there, I feel like there was opportunities, having the twins be the forefront of Total Divas, getting being the longest reigning Divas champion. I just see like what she was able to do given the circumstances and having to fight against the odds of being like, okay, well, you're getting what you're getting because you're dating John. And I feel like that's so difficult because you could be so good. I am dating this person, but do you not see the work that I'm doing? It's not that easy, because even though I think certain people may have, more opportunities than others, or you get this or you get that, I think it's at the end of the day how you capitalize and how you're able to take what you're given and then be like, you know what, I'm gonna prove everyone wrong, and I gotta put in this extra work just to prove that I'm capable of having this. Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And just seeing the inspiring woman that she's been even outside of WWE. She's always lifting up the women. I mean, I commend her for having a busy life, being married, now having a kid, doing her other stuff. You always see her on social media praising the girls who are up and coming and being like, congratulations, and giving them their flowers, praising women for the things that they're doing and being like, I see you. And I think that's admirable, because I think when you have like that type of caliber and you have achieved stuff, sometimes it's kind of hard to pass the torch.
The other criticism that they always get is like, oh, they can't wrestle, which is like, I feel like such a lie. Like when they returned in 2013, like they really started to create their own identities, and I love how Nikki really created her like this powerhouse persona, the powerhouse wrestling style. I really love that. But also her 2016 return was such a freaking serve. Her little feud with Carmella, her feud with Natty was so good. She did that no DQ match, the Falls Count Anywhere match.
That match with Natty was fire.
So good. But like, she didn't even touch the title. She gave the opportunities to a new girl. I'm just gonna do my thing, show that I can wrestle. The criticism they always get is that, oh, they're just doing it for the fame. But what was your experience working with them? Do you think they loved wrestling?
Absolutely. I mean, let's be honest, okay? No matter who you are, even if you would do, let's just say, get into wrestling because you're like, oh, I wanna be famous. There is no way you can have longevity and do that unless you're just maybe someone is psychopathic, where they can, because the amount of strain that goes on your body, the criticism that you get, because you're already having to fight the odds of someone being like, well, you didn't watch wrestling, or you didn't want to do this. So you have to prove yourself. Then you're traveling as much as you are, putting your body on the line. How can you not love it? I saw the love that the girls had. Like, they loved what they did.
The fact that she had that, career-ending injury, but she still wanted to wrestle. I mean, all that really just shows that they really love the business of pro wrestling, but just all these haters gonna hate, and Bella's gonna whatever their little thing is. But also, I mean, we need to talk about the influence of Total Divas on pro wrestling in general, / the next generation of female wrestlers. Like literally from Chelsea Green, Britt Baker, Maxine Dupree, they all talk about how they got into wrestling watching Total Divas. What you guys created is influencing this generation of women's wrestlers. Like, do you feel that sometimes?
No, because I still get so much shit and people being like, you can't wrestle, da 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 da. I'm like, okay, y'all, you go get 3 months of training. I would like you to go do that. Let me go see you go in front of a live television audience with no dance background, 3 months of training, go off. I would love to see. So sometimes I don't feel that necessarily I've contributed. I mean, I was a part of it. I feel honored and humbled, but it definitely, I think, brought a new chapter to the book. And yeah, just to hear people who are like, I never watched wrestling, but then I watched Total Divas and like, oh my God, I'm tuning in. So yeah, that's definitely something that I think I forget, because I think I get so caught up in sometimes the negativity or people being like, bring back Melina versus Alicia Fox, like all these things that I'm like, I think sometimes I get so caught in my head that I forget, like, okay, there are some things, guys, that I think I did do to bring to the table.
Well, I think this is a good opportunity to go to our last pick of the most underrated women in wrestling. Who's your pick?
Can we do a drum roll?
Drum roll, drum roll.
Who do you think it is? So, you know what? Because I think it wouldn't be right. I'm always the queen of controversy, somehow making people feel some type of way, but at least I make people feel a way, right? I'm putting myself on the very end of the list for myself as number 3, For the simple fact, getting back to what we're talking about, considering the amount of time that I had for training, not being a dancer, having to go out perform live with some heels on, it sounds easy, but then also having to make that transition to wrestle and being like, like how do I make this, especially being next to someone like Trent, aka Naomi, who is so badass in the ring, and I'm like, how do I, can you teach? Oh,
Yours being so humble right now because you definitely deserve to be in this list. You made us feel stuff all the time you're in the ring. You saw that tweet that recently went viral where like you having that fight with Naomi was like the most real fight he's ever seen in wrestling ever.
which is so crazy because we felt like we should have went harder.
Oh.
We felt that we should have brought it, like we were like, why don't we out, like we should have went more in. We didn't even think that was a good fight.
We need to give you the freaking praise that you need. Like, you were giving charisma. The mirror, the outfit, the walk. Like, you were giving everything. You were giving so much character. Like, that's something that I feel like, honestly, nowadays, like, it's missing a little much. Like, we want that character. You want that charisma. You want that connection with the audience. And that's something that you were just, like, oozing out. Even lately with your matches with Sonic Hiss and that no DQ match we're gonna talk about soon. And even your, like, performance in Royal Rumble, you showed that you can go. Like, you didn't have the opportunity to show that. So, first of all, that needs to be said. And also, what cannot be replicated is that from the moment you showed up in WWE TV, from the Tough Enough, you got people talking until the end of your career. People couldn't stop talking about you.
I mean, and thank you. Thank you for that, because my favorite saying is you can teach anyone how to wrestle, but you can't teach personality. Which I'm going to go ahead and segue and bring it into this whole situation. I feel underrated too, for the simple fact, I think out of everyone and how much shit I get talked about, creating my own independent wrestling company.
Yes,
PTW.
that's an important point. When you came up with the PTW, Pound Town Wrestling, some people were like, Pound Town
What?
Wrestling, really? And guess what happened? On NXT, they brought Sexy Red.
I mean, this is the thing. No matter how much shit people talk, if you don't have haters, if people aren't talking about it, it's stale. I think the person who people thought didn't have passion, who was not interested in wrestling, to then go off and create, and I mean, I don't know if this is a fact, so y'all don't quote me, but being one of the like first Black women ever to go off and do something like this and make it about people who would typically not be seen, be heard. People, I mean, 70% of our roster is part of the LGBTQ community, you know?
Yeah.
So making it about typically, like, again, you can't, your height, how you look, your these are things that you cannot change. It's like, I can't change this. And sometimes I feel like you may not get opportunities because of that. And creating something like PTW to have people be seen and be heard that would never typically have that like platform, especially something in the indies. And making it luxurious. I mean, like, well, why can't the indies be luxurious?
I'm not even lying here, guys. Like, literally my favorite indie wrestling experience ever. The guys are hot. The girly pop everywhere. Like, it's a party time. The most fun I had indie wrestling. And you did that. I was like, oh my god. And you know, I missed the second event because it was WrestleMania. I was in Philadelphia. But how do I watch it? I heard there's a pay-per-view coming out very soon.
Yes, so July 28th, which is a Sunday at 5 p.m. PST. Light it up. Get ready to light it up.
Light it up. It's little AJ.
Could you stop it? Stop.
I was like, interesting choice.
It's so funny. I just went to go happen to read some of the comments from our last, and they were like, DS, the shade of showing Ari the comic book. He was like, well, you didn't see it? Hold on. Please, let me open it for you. Did you see this? You know what's so funny? Because I did think initially people were like, But you know what? Even though no matter what, and it's not even that I was like trying to take a page from her book, AJ, at the end of the day, so far past that, she made a legacy in WWE. Whether you think it's about AJ, whether you think it's just about you just trying to light it up and turn up, it's for whoever wants to perceive it however they feel. But there was no specific when I thought about it. Is this the time to drop the tea right now? Because I just love everything that DS is doing, the audience that you have. Also, let me give you your flowers. To see you do what you have done in this amount of time, I commend you so much. Like, you have killed it. And also just knowing that you're doing something that you truly love and your passion, you're inspirational to me.
Thank you.
What you're doing. And because of that, and because you're allowing me to share this platform with you and always come on here, whether we talk a little shit or we're sitting here chilling or just talking about things that I think are amazing in the women's division, I want to be able to give your fan base an opportunity to come into my world, which I think they will love, which is giving them a code for free 99. So for people who don't know what free 99 is, that just means free. Come watch a pay-per-view. I don't want you to pay any money, any of that. It's Ring the Belle 100.
So the QR code that you gave me is for people to watch it free.
So, no, the QR code that I gave you, that's for the giveaway. We didn't even get a chance to talk about that. But yes, there's just many things happening. So the giveaway, wherever the QR code's gonna be, is it here? Is it here? Or is it out here?
Thank you so much. That's so cool. Oh wait, yeah. You guys need to watch it because you were in a freaking hardcore match for the second one.
This is a no DQ match.
Yes, I cannot. I'm gonna let me just drop the tea now. I mean, you saw it getting superplexed through a table.
Yes.
And I'm excited for people to see just this different side of me, and I think it's because I feel comfortable and the people who I'm working with. It's like a good like community.
Yeah. So you have to check that match, and of course you have to check Maximilian Montclair. just watch him walk. So you can check all the matches with the link down below with the code Ring the Belle 100, right?
Ring the Belle 100.
What was the QR code situation then?
It's a giveaway. So pretty much it's a giveaway. Merchandise, meet and greet, VIP tickets to the next show, 8x10 signed by me. What else? I can't even think. There's like literally a list.
Thank you so much, Ariane, for joining in for this very special episode and like just showering us with all these gifts. We are all here for the PTW.
Pound Town Wrestling. Pound
Town Wrestling.
Let's not get copywritten right away.
Where can we find you? Where can we find all these PTW information?
Yes, so very easy. Follow me across the board at Ariane Andrew, but most importantly, it's not about me. Follow Pound Town Wrestling at poundtownwrestling.com. Shop, poundtownwrestling.com for merchandise. The QR code will be here somewhere for the giveaway, and as well as check out the show. And again, the code for all you amazing, beautiful humans who stayed to watch the very end. Ring the Belle 100 to watch the pay-per-view completely for free.
You can find me at DSShin on Instagram and Ring the Belle DS on Twitter, and I'll see you next time. Bye!